another edition of Experience a Very Intense Educational Reawakening. Xavier here, as usual, bringing you the highlights and the topical issues where, of course, you know that this is the only place you can come to get the real discussion. This is the place you come where the thinking man comes to discuss things on a much higher level than the ordinary. Anyway, today we're going to discuss another high profile murder case. Now, this murder actually occurred about 10 months ago. It occurred in February of last year. That is, of course, meaning 2020. And this murder, to the best of my knowledge, has not been solved. And I'm not quite sure if the police have even made any strong inroads into solving this particular murder. But before I go into the discussion and the analytical aspect of it, I would like to read for you the Gleaner article regarding this particular incident, and then we can take it from there. Now, here goes. After a brazen attempt on his life 4 months ago, when close to 20 bullets were fired into his motor vehicle by gunmen injuring him, 50-year-old businessman Wayne Stanbury was killed at the Emmanuel Apostolic Church on Slipe Road in Kingston on Sunday, February 23rd, 2020. Stanbury was murdered around 8:25 a.m. by an unknown assailant upon his arrival at the church, where he had turned to months ago for refuge following the death of his wife from cancer and the October attempt on his life while on his way home in Linstead, St. Catherine. After the October attack, the businessman, who was boss of Beridan Financial Services based at King Street in Linstead, relocated to Kingston and began worshipping at Emmanuel Apostolic Church, where he was killed. Stanbury move from Linstead to Kingston was perceived to be a precautionary measure and to avoid further attempts on his life. Now, article continues. Now, this is the quote from one of the church members who was aware of his presence in the church. Brother Wayne had been visiting us for several months. He never got saved at this church because he was saved in his teenage years. He never expected fear for his life, but he did testify to the church and showed us his hand that was at the time bandaged. That was when he just got here. He had received counseling and had immersed himself in a Sunday school small group and that was helping him to find solace. All right, that's end of the Gleaner article. End of Gleaner article? No. Let's get into the meat of the matter. Now, this man, attempt was made on his life there on his way from his business place. And while he was on the road, several bullets were fired into his car. He just got injured on one hand, so there was no life threatened to his life from that incident. Immediately, the man cut from St. Catherine. He not just cut from Bagwalk, Linstead. The man cut from St. Catherine. The man no go back there from the time the pump him here. He no go back there. The business was still running, to the best of my knowledge, but I suppose he was operating it by proxy. You know, these are the days of internet and all of that. So he could handle his aspect of the business there, while he would have supervisory staff actually on location who would handle the day-to-day paper pushing and stuff. But he himself never went back to St. Catherine. He not only did not go back, the man moved him house. The man moved residence, moved everything, and cut all ties with every location that he had in St. Catherine. Him no go back there. Anything he wants at St. Catherine, him send for. Anyway, just 3.5 months, after he was shot up there, they go to the church and kill him. Now, the gunmen who killed him, let me tell you something. They don't have that level of intelligence. When I say intelligence, I speak of information. They don't have the level of information gathering technology and tactics and manpower to find back that man after him left St. Catherine completely and cut all ties with St. Catherine. They haven't got that. So they could not have known that he would have been at a church at 8:25 in a one Sunday morning and know if they go in a car, they go lay wait it. They couldn't know that. Their intelligence level is not that high. So, therefore, what it stands to reason, therefore, that this was an inside job. Somebody knew he would have been there at that time and at that specific time because this place for him go once a week. I'm assuming, I don't know, he might have gone there for a little evening Bible study or what, but to the best of my knowledge, we know him that go there at least once a week and go there on a Sunday morning. The person who go wait upon him never go sit down there and wait because in a them church there, you have a morning service, you have one start about 8 o'clock or 8:30, you have one start about 10 o'clock, and it go until 11, you have one start maybe 2 or 3, and then you have one start maybe 5, 6 in the evening. So there'll be several services. Gunman now just go there go sit down whole day in and wait upon him in case them see him. 1. 2. Gunman will wake up out of them head bed 5 o'clock to go lay with no man to kill them. So just in case, and a just in case basis. If they want to go, gunman sleep in them bed, have them breakfast, watch DVD, and so on, and then go lay wait man at evening or afternoon or in a broad daylight, 10, 11 o'clock. Gunman awake for them bed, pants on them man in them house. Them a hook up them kerosene and sleep. You understand me? So the fact that they were there means say them get line up. Good. Them get good line up. Who could have lined them up? Alright, first of all, the man sleep at him house. The man sleep at him house. So it stands to reason that as somebody at the man yard say, look here, brethren, go on there now. Him just leave out. At 7:15 now, him just leave out. And him a go at 8 o'clock. Him a go at 8:30 service. So here what you do, make your way there now. He mean a blue car license number, that him a wear that kind of clothes. So when you see that car they come in, and him that just brush him. That call would have had to have been made from the house. Brethren, follow me. When you see the logic, when you see where I'm going with this. Now, they go there and they kill the man. Now, you see, if I was a police officer on this case, the first thing I would have done, I would have gone to the house, to his house, and I would investigate everybody at the house. First thing I would want to do is to confiscate all phones. All phones. I want to know every phone number of everybody who have been in that house in the past 24 hours. Therefore, from 8:15 on Saturday morning till 8:15 on Sunday morning when the crime took place. I think it's 8:25 or thereabouts. So apparently at 8:30 service it was going on. Anyway, I would have to have those phones. And I would subpoena the phone records for all those phones. And when I subpoena the records, I would look to see who made a call. I would look for the past 24 hours. But I'd be looking specifically from 6 o'clock that morning or 5:30 that morning till the time of death. Because me suspect strongly that somebody at the house made that call which cost that man his life, who knows specifically say him leave out now, him just leave, head out now, make sure say he reach the X time. Now when you trace out every call that has been made from all the phones of everybody at that residence, the next thing you're going to do is to look where those phones had pinged off, where the person who got those calls were, what cell towers those phone calls pinged off, for who made the calls. And then, you see, anybody who had received calls from that number, and you see where the location, look if the phone that was called, if it end up pinging off a tower at the Emmanuel Church. Because it would mean that the person called the gunman said the gunman they are Redills or the gunman they are Waterhouse. You would see where that phone end up down at Emmanuel at the time when the murder happened. Then you say you have a timeline, you have circumstantial evidence, and you going now subpoena the name of the person to whom those phones were connected. The phone that was traveling to the location where the murder took place. And you can trace out all of those calls. And when you're done, you will know where it is going. Now, when you're taking these people for interrogation, one thing you need to look at too, wherever that call had been, whichever phone inside um, the victim's residence, anybody whose phone that call had been made from, check where that person was on the night when the first attempt was made on his life. Because here is what we need to look at too. One, you notice them not try to kill him at the business place, and them don't try to kill him at his house. Them try to kill him away from those two places. Because the time when the attempt was made on his life now, it was after 10 the night when we leave the business place. Now, after 10, the place don't lack long time. Anybody could have gone in there and and kill him. Or they could have lay wait him in the car park, because I'm going to assume that his car was outside and them know say him I go leave and go in at the car park. Chances are the person who set him up for dead was at the business place, and they wanted to so dissociate themselves from the crime, that what they made sure to do is say, don't kill him don't come there come kill him. We not even let you in for come kill him. And don't kill him at the car park, because me no want no kind of suspicion raised for me. And me no even want to give no evidence. But what it happen somewhere else, so me can always say, so all police can come do is tell me, say him dead. But nobody will be able to come and even question me or ask me for a report, because it don't happen nowhere near me. That's me to be a witness. I don't want to be a witness. So take him out on the road. You understand me? So that is one of the things we need to look at. Them didn't kill him at business place. And at that hour of the night, it would be easy for us lay with him right outside the business place and brush him at the car park. And they didn't. They rather do it, drive him down and do it. What that tell you? That is very significant. Next thing again, these people who know a church where him go once a week for maybe a 2 hours. Once a week for about 2 hours. Now, the place where him live, if you can know a place where him go once a week for 2 hours, then you don't know the place where him live, when him sleep in a bed for about 8 to 10 hours a night. And when him leave from every morning and come to every night, and you don't brush him at the yard. What that tell you? It tells you that the same person who did put out the hit from him, on him, at the on the road in a Linstead, that same person is actually very likely is at the house. And them say, listen, don't brush him at the house, you know. We have to find someone to brush him, because me no want to give no statement. Me no want to feel I will have the least suspicion on me. Don't brush him at the yard. Because if you can find, as me say again, let me repeat, if somewhere where him go just once a week for 2 hours, and another place where him spend about at least 12 hours sleeping, waking, eating, bathing, whatever. And them could have just leave with him when I come out through him gate. Or I go in at night in him yard. You would have must more know where him live more than where him go worship once a week for 2 hours. But you not brush him this up. You don't brush him this up. You lay with him before they in a car park on a Sunday morning. What that tell you? That somebody is trying to cover them tracks thoroughly and make sure say that this man does not, that there is absolutely no suspicion can arise from them. Look into it, people, and if you not think something wrong for anything, or anything I'm saying is illogical, irrational, are nonsensical, put some comments and let me know what you think. And explain to me also what methodology you would use to actually counter what I have just said. All right? Now, guys, just go and think about it and subscribe, continue, hit the notification bell so you can see when my new posts come out, and leave a comment, share, leave a like. You know, your guy Xavier here tuning out. Thanks for listening.